Have you ever felt something shift in your body, so quietly, so gently, that you almost ignored it? Maybe it was a little dryness. Maybe a tiny sting when you moved. Maybe a new kind of discomfort that felt too small to worry about. And you told yourself the same thing so many people your age whisper in their minds. Ah, it's nothing. It's just age catching up with me. But what if those tiny changes weren't just age? What if they were your body's way of tapping you on the shoulder? Softly telling you, hey, please don't ignore this. Because the truth is, sometimes the smallest signs are the ones that matter the most. Sometimes the discomfort you brushed off last week. Or the dryness you pretended not to notice. Or that strange feeling you swore would disappear tomorrow. Is actually your body trying to protect you from something bigger. And here's the part nobody tells you. Not your friends. Not your family. Not even many doctors unless you ask the right questions. As you get older, your intimate health becomes one of the most important parts of your well-being. Not because it's embarrassing. Not because it's taboo. But because it affects your comfort, your hygiene, your confidence, and even your long-term health. Yet it's also the area most seniors ignore. Not on purpose. But because you've lived long enough to think, I've handled bigger problems than this. I'll be fine. But ignoring intimate self-care in old age can lead to consequences many people never see coming. Consequences that can sneak up on you quietly. The same way those tiny changes snuck in. And that's exactly why this video matters. Today, you're going to learn something that could genuinely make your life easier, more comfortable, and more peaceful. Because in this video, we're talking about the 5 intimate changes seniors often ignore. The real reasons why they happen. And what you can do. Gently, simply, and confidently, to stay in control of your comfort and your health. These aren't dramatic, scary things. They are real, everyday signs, signs that older adults experience quietly, often alone. Even though talking about them could make everything so much simpler. So before we dive deeper, before we uncover these surprising changes, before we talk about what they mean for you and your well-being, I want you to do something small but meaningful. Type "I'm learning" in the comments. Not for me, but for yourself. To remind your heart that your comfort matters. Your dignity matters. And your health will always matter, no matter your age. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. This is a place where your experiences are respected. Your health is honored. And your voice is never too old to be heard. Now, the first sign. The one most people overlook until it becomes impossible to ignore. Increasing dryness and discomfort. And I want you to picture this clearly. Imagine someone like Margaret. A warm, gentle 72-year-old grandmother who still loves tending to her little garden every morning. A few months ago, she noticed something, just a tiny bit of dryness. Nothing major. Nothing painful. Just different. So, she brushed it off. She told herself, maybe it's the weather. Maybe I didn't drink enough water today. And like so many seniors, she kept going. Day after day. Ignoring the quiet signals her body was sending. But then something changed. Walking started to feel a little uncomfortable. Not painful, just off. Then sitting for long periods became irritating. She shifted in her chair more. She felt a little soreness she couldn't explain. And suddenly, even simple hygiene routines, things she'd done her whole life without thinking, started to feel stressful. And that's how it begins for so many older adults. Not with pain. Not with fear. Just with a gentle dryness that grows slowly, quietly, until one day it's affecting your entire comfort. Now, here's the part that often surprises people. As you age, your hormones, especially estrogen, naturally decrease. And when estrogen goes down, moisture goes down with it. Elasticity changes. The skin becomes thinner, more delicate, more sensitive. So yes, some dryness is completely normal. But extreme dryness? Dryness that begins to affect your comfort, your movement, or your hygiene. That's not something you should dismiss. Because that kind of dryness may signal something more. Skin thinning, irritation, or even early infection. Nothing dramatic. But definitely something your body wants you to pay attention to. The problem is, most seniors assume dryness means they should just drink more water. Or apply regular lotion. Or use whatever soap they have at home. But here's the tricky part. The wrong products can make the area even more sensitive. Regular lotions are full of fragrances, chemicals, and alcohols that burn or irritate. Many soaps strip away natural oils your body desperately needs at this age. And powders or scented products? Those can create irritation that gets worse over time. So, what should you do instead? You start simple. Switch to gentle, fragrance-free cleansers. The types meant for sensitive skin. Hydrate the area with safe moisturizers made for delicate, aging skin. Let your skin breathe. Let it heal. Let it feel supported instead of overwhelmed. And if that dryness becomes painful, or keeps getting worse, you don't wait. You talk to a healthcare provider. There are solutions, comfortable, easy, and designed specifically for seniors. You deserve comfort. You deserve relief. And you deserve to feel like your body is working with you, not against you. But dryness, as frustrating as it can be, isn't the only sign you should watch out for. There's another one. Recurring itching or a light burning sensation. I want you to think about Helen for a moment. Helen is 69. She's active, she's cheerful, she knits blankets for her grandkids and never misses her Sunday walk. A few months back, she started feeling a mild itch. Nothing alarming, nothing dramatic. Just a soft, occasional tickle that came and went. She told herself, "It's just the weather. The air is dry. Maybe I washed with the wrong soap today." And she kept pushing it aside. The same way most people do. But weeks later, she noticed that tiny itch wasn't so tiny anymore. It lingered. It returned at the worst times. And suddenly, it wasn't just a small inconvenience, it was a sign that something wasn't quite right. That's how easily itching slips into your life. Soft. Quiet. Easy to ignore. But very often, it's your body's early warning system saying, "Please pay attention." Let's talk about why this happens. As we get older, our skin changes. More than many people realize. It becomes thinner. More reactive. Less protected. And because of this, even the smallest irritation can feel bigger than it used to. Persistent itching can be your body's way of telling you that something underneath the surface needs attention. It might be an early infection. It might be a pH imbalance. It might be a reaction to dryness, sweat, or friction. Or sometimes, it's simply the body saying, "I need gentler care now." But here's where most seniors get it wrong. Many people try to mask the itching with powders. Strong soaps. Perfumed sprays. Or scented wipes. They think, if it smells fresh, it must be clean. But that's not how the body works, especially as you age. Those scented products, they strip away natural moisture. They disrupt the pH balance. They irritate already delicate skin. And instead of soothing the itch, they feed it. So, what should you do instead? You keep things simple. You keep things gentle. You give your skin space to breathe. Choose breathable cotton underwear, not tight synthetic fabrics. Avoid harsh soaps and stick to mild, fragrance-free cleansers. Keep the area dry, but not so dry that the skin cracks or becomes irritated. And make a habit of checking for small changes. Changes in color, texture, or sensation. These tiny habits go a long way in keeping your intimate area healthy and comfortable. But here's the thing. Itching rarely shows up alone. It often brings a friend with it, one that people find even more embarrassing to talk about. A strong or unusual odor. This one doesn't show up with a warning. It creeps in softly, gently, almost politely. You notice it one day while dressing or after using the bathroom. And you tell yourself, maybe I didn't wash well today. Or, maybe it's just sweat. It'll go away. So, you ignore it. But then a week passes. And suddenly that faint smell has become a little stronger. A little sharper. A little harder to dismiss. Odor changes happen quietly. That's why they're so easy to overlook. No pain. No discomfort at first. Just a shift you think is normal. But here's the truth. As you age, the natural balance of bacteria in the intimate area begins to change. Your sweat glands shift. Your skin becomes more delicate. And hygiene routines that were simple in your younger years, bending, reaching, staying dry, start to take a little more effort. Those are normal parts of aging. But when the odor becomes unusual, stronger than you're used to, or suddenly very different from what your body has always been like, it can mean something deeper is going on. It could be an infection quietly beginning. It could be dryness causing tiny cracks in the skin. It could be moisture getting trapped because airflow is reduced. Or even irritation from the wrong products. And yet, here's the biggest mistake people make. They think the answer is stronger soap. Soap with fragrance. Soap that smells like flowers. Soap that feels fresh. Soap that burns a little but seems to work. But the truth? Those soaps strip your skin of natural oils, damage the protective barrier, and feed the very bacteria you're trying to get rid of. In other words, stronger soap doesn't fix the problem. It creates a bigger one. So, what's the right approach? You keep things gentle. You choose mild, fragrance-free cleansers that protect your skin's natural balance. You keep the area dry. Not damp, not sweaty, not sealed under heavy fabrics. You wear cotton underwear that allows airflow instead of trapping moisture. And you pay attention to sudden changes. Because if the odor shifts dramatically, almost overnight, your body may be asking for medical attention. And here's the thing. Odor changes are one of the most subtle signs. They slip into your routine quietly. But the next sign? It doesn't slip in quietly at all. It shows up with discomfort. With awkwardness. With moments that make your daily life a little harder than it should be. Mild pain or pressure during movement. Pain has a way of sneaking up on you. Not the kind that makes you stop everything you're doing, but the quiet kind, the kind that whispers instead of shouts. Mary, age 68, knew this feeling well. Every time she got up from her chair, she felt a faint pulling sensation, almost like her body was resisting the movement. At first, she brushed it off. Maybe I sat too long, she told herself. But with each passing week, that gentle pull grew a little more noticeable, a little more persistent. And here's the truth most people don't realize: intimate discomfort doesn't always show up where you expect it. Sometimes it feels like pressure deep inside. Sometimes it mimics joint pain. Sometimes it feels like tightness across the lower pelvis or a strange heaviness when you shift positions. These sensations can make walking slower, getting out of bed more cautious, and even simple chores feel slightly uncomfortable. As we age, the tissues in the intimate area become thinner and more fragile. Moisture decreases. Elasticity weakens. And the muscles that support the pelvic region, the ones quietly working behind the scenes, may lose strength. Add dryness, cracks, minor inflammation, or internal shifts, and suddenly the body sends signals that feel unfamiliar. One of the biggest misconceptions is assuming this kind of pain must be arthritis or joint stiffness. People think, it's my knees, it's my hips, it's just age catching up with me. But intimate discomfort can mimic those same sensations. Sometimes the pain doesn't come from bones or joints, it comes from the delicate tissues that have become too dry, too strained, or too irritated. The good news? Small adjustments make a big difference. Move a little slower when rising from a chair. Use soft cushions that reduce pressure in sensitive areas. Add light pelvic exercises to strengthen the muscles that support your lower body. And above all, listen to your body. These sensations are not random, they're clues. And yet, even with all these signs, there's another one many people feel too embarrassed to mention. And that silence, more than anything else, makes the problem linger longer than it should. Increased sensitivity or sudden tenderness. You know, there's a certain kind of discomfort that catches you off guard, not sharp, not dramatic, but unexpected. Imagine waking up one morning and feeling a little soreness in an area that never used to bother you. Maybe you brush your hand across your lower body while bathing, and you think, that feels a bit different. And just like most people, you explain it away. Maybe it's the clothes I wore today. Maybe I sat wrong. Maybe it's nothing. But then the tenderness returns. It comes back the next day, or the next week, and suddenly you realize this isn't just a one-time thing. As we grow older, our nerves become more sensitive. They react differently. The skin that used to bounce back easily becomes thinner and more delicate. Blood flow slows down, meaning even small irritations feel bigger. Tenderness isn't always a sign of something serious, sometimes it's the body adjusting to age. But other times, it's the early whisper of dryness, irritation, friction, or even infection. And the challenge is that tenderness often doesn't announce itself loudly. It's quiet. Subtle. Easy to ignore, until it isn't. And here's where so many seniors struggle: embarrassment. Many people are afraid to mention tenderness, even to a doctor. They feel shy, or they think they'll be judged, or they believe it's too personal to talk about. So instead of speaking up, they say nothing. They hope it disappears. They wait. But silence never solves these things. It only gives the discomfort time to grow. The truth is, tenderness is the body's way of saying, I need gentler care. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not something to feel ashamed of. It's a reminder to slow down and pay attention. And there are simple ways to help your body feel better. Keep the area clean with warm, not hot, water. Use gentle, fragrance-free moisturizers that protect the skin rather than irritate it. Avoid tight clothing that rubs or traps heat. And pay attention to when the tenderness appears: after walking, after sitting too long, after wearing certain fabrics. These patterns tell a story your body is trying to share. And now that we've walked through these physical changes, these signs your body gently reveals, there's something deeper we need to talk about. Something that goes beyond discomfort or symptoms. Something emotional. Because aging doesn't just change the body, it touches the heart, the mind, the sense of identity. And that part of the journey is just as important. These changes, the dryness, the itching, the tenderness, the unexpected discomfort, they aren't just physical. They reach deeper. They affect your confidence, your comfort, your sense of hygiene, your dignity. And for many seniors, admitting that something feels wrong isn't easy. It can be frustrating, even painful, to acknowledge that the body isn't responding the way it used to. You may feel embarrassed or hesitant to speak up, even to yourself. And that silence, that hesitation, only makes it harder to care for yourself properly. But here's the truth you need to hear: intimate self-care isn't about fear. It isn't about shame. It's about staying comfortable. It's about staying in control. It's about understanding your own body with wisdom, the kind of wisdom that comes from paying attention, from noticing the small signals, from acting gently but deliberately. Your body is speaking. It's sending whispers, not shouts. And listening is the first step toward reclaiming comfort, confidence, and peace. So, take a moment today. Check in with yourself. Notice those subtle changes. Don't hide them. Don't pretend they don't exist. This is your body, your comfort, and your life. Honor it. Treat it with the attention it deserves. Even the smallest steps, like switching to a gentle cleanser, wearing breathable fabrics, or tracking recurring discomfort, matter more than you realize. And remember this: aging isn't losing control. Aging is gaining clarity. Every sign, every change, every little discomfort is a clue, a guide to living more peacefully, more comfortably, and with greater awareness. The more you understand your body, the more empowered you become to navigate your later years with dignity, ease, and calm confidence. Let's take a moment to recap. Today, we explored 5 intimate signs many seniors tend to ignore. Dryness, recurring itching or burning, changes in odor, mild pain or pressure during movement, and sudden tenderness. Each one is important. Each one deserves attention. And each one tells a story about your body that's worth listening to. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these signs surprised you the most? Have you noticed any of these changes yourself, or in someone you care about? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story, your experience, might help someone else feel seen, understood, and encouraged to take action. And if you found this video helpful, and you want more warm, gentle guidance made just for seniors, go ahead and subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. Here, we focus on empowering you to live comfortably, confidently, and wisely. Every tip, every insight, every story is meant to honor your later years and help you feel secure in your body and your choices. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay informed, stay kind to yourself, and pay attention to those whispers your body sends. Comfort, dignity, and understanding are always within your reach. I'll see you in the next video.